Number 10.
Hartlepool United or AFC Bournemouth
Number 3.
against Manchester United.
3 weeks ago, the Baker family of Hartlepool had an early morning date with the fifth round draw. They pulled out a plum. But first, central defender Paul and his teammates had to travel the length of the country to replay with Bournemouth. Paul Baker scored the first goal, but disastrously past his own goalkeeper. The 4th Division side conceded a second own goal, and though they played some high-quality attacking football, the hole they dug was too deep to climb out of. By the time Richard Cook had made it 5-2, Bournemouth were already planning for yet another nice little earner. In one cup or another, it's the 4th time they've drawn Manchester United in 7 years. And that's a bonus Bournemouth can hardly have expected when they set off on their 2nd Division season last August. But then Bournemouth's a place full of surprises. You wouldn't expect, on the leafy borders of Dorset and Hampshire, to find them producing oil. Nor perhaps would you expect to find, looking after the oil, a Bournemouth supporter from Merseyside. Dave, can I just disturb you a minute? Yes. How long have you been down here supporting Bournemouth?
Well, I've been here in the area now 22 years, living here, yeah.
Started off as a supporter on Merseyside,
That's right, used to go to Anfield and watch the Reds, yeah. They did very well, yeah.
What about Bournemouth? Your memories go back to the last time they played Manchester United?
Yeah, that's right, when Bournemouth beat them 2-0. It was very good. I even had a few drinks with the team afterwards down in Christchurch, yeah.
January '84, that was in the 3rd round, when Ian Thompson made it 2-0, and out went United, Ray Wilkins, Brian Robson, Arnold Muren, and the rest. Today's tie has created predictable pressures, so this week the golf course provided Bournemouth with a change from the training ground, the unceasing telephone, and the demand for tickets that would have filled Dean Court 4 or 5 times over. Luther, if I can just take you away from the serious business and get you to think about this football match. You've probably had as much experience as anybody in the side of playing against top-class defences. Are you a better player for your experience in Italy, for example?
Yeah, that improved me a lot. It improved much my technique and, you know, my willingness just to receive the ball with my back to goal. And in that way, you know, I think I helped and had a little bit to the overall way the team plays.
Have you found it easier since you came back to play against English-style defences rather than against man-for-man marking and a sweeper?
It's been easier at times, but they tackle just as hard in England as they do in the continent.
Hey, I tell you what, can I play or what? I can't believe it.
How much will you talk about Manchester United this week?
Not too much at all. I just feel that we're playing very well at the moment. If we can go out and get our own game going and we work hard as we have of late and we get a few breaks, then we've got a chance, you know. But they're a good side. I mean, I had a fellow give me a report on them last week at Sheffield and, you know, I mean, if I read that report, I probably won't sleep again for the rest of the week because he came back and was very impressed with him. I mean, they've got some good players, haven't they? You know, Robson, McClare, Hughes. You can worry yourself sick about the other team and I don't intend to do that, and I don't intend to frighten the players too much about Manchester United.
Donachie again coming forward for Manchester United. Hughes. Oh, for Gill, this will be a cracker! A splendid goal, a magnificent goal. This is Wilson. Faced by Parker. He's got away, getting across the facing ball. Oh, and it's the other substitute, Daniel Graham.
What happened there then?
Hey? You've got Mashy Niblick in your back.
Which one are you going to play, the front one or the back one?
That's not possible.
No sign of cut-tie tension on the golf course. And while striker Trevor Aylock popped them in, and goalkeeper Jerry Payton kept them out, Parks patrolman Tommy Godwin was about his duties at Kings Park, only a decent goal kick from Dean Court, where 32 years ago he'd kept goal against Manchester United in another famous FA Cup tie.
Stiffle takes the kick, a battle in the goal mouth, and Brian Bedford scores. The ball is stripped through to John Barry, who races in and bangs it home. Bournemouth appeal for offside, but the goal stands 1-1. Right winger John Barry wriggles through the Bournemouth defence. He shakes off Lewis Clayton and races for the goal. Godwin parries, and in the back and forth tussle, the ball is handled by Lyons. Manchester are awarded a penalty kick. Barry takes it, and Godwin hasn't a chance. Manchester win, but Bournemouth have gone down with colours flying.
What people don't realise, in those days, there was only one team promoted from the 3rd division, and there was only one cup. I mean, not like now, there's more cups than my missus has in her dresser. But, you know, if you were out of the cup and you were halfway down the league, this time of the year, your season was practically finished in the 3rd division. And this was a great thing for the town. And we really fancied our chances. When the team was announced, Tommy Taylor was injured, and Duncan Edwards played centre forward. And I don't know if you know Duncan, but he was probably one of the greatest English players that ever lived. But he seemed to be lost when he played centre forward. And then just before half-time, Mark Jones and Oliver Norris collided. And in the second half, Duncan Edwards went back to centre half, and it changed the whole aspect of the game. There was controversy about both of the goals, because the first goal, John Barry was offside when the ball was put through, and the second one was a handball. Joe Brown was standing on the goal line and it hit him on the chest there. You know, he put up his shoulder and hit him there, and the ref gave a penalty. And I think only if we had had a good bit of agreement, it could have been the first 3rd division club to get to Wembley.
Today's Manchester United earned their trip to Bournemouth with a victory over Oxford United. It was part of a sequence of 6 successive wins marked by the long-anticipated blossoming of the partnership between Brian McClare and Mark Hughes, a partnership admired from close quarters by Gordon Strachan.
Brian's bringing people into the game. He's still got a lot to learn as well. He's only 24. He works very, very hard, tremendously hard. He reads the game well. He's a pleasure for the likes of me to play with 1-2s round about. Mark's more of an individualist, but he helps us out in the way he scores goals. We might be under pressure, nothing, then Mark will make a spectacular goal. Mark works very hard as well, tracking people down, defenders. I don't think defenders like playing against him.
Physically very strong.
He's probably the strongest player I've ever played with.
Hughes, the Welshman feared for delivering thunderbolts from the blue, is wiser for his experience in Spain and Germany. McClare, the Scot who scored more than 100 goals for Celtic, is a player of touch and timing.
Mark has always been a spectacular goal scorer. He doesn't score the easy ones, I think, by McClare. And therein lies a partnership, you know, really. But both have assets for the penalty balls that all great strikers must have. When they're both brave, both are good headers of the ball and good spring for the height, and both are two-footed. So really, I think that in time you'll find that maybe Mark Hughes will improve that part where he scores easy ones. It's something he knows it'll happen, I'm sure, and something he'll want to do. Brian McClare is capable of scoring spectacular goals, i.e. his volley against Chelsea last season. So he's got a good mix to his goals, and he can score in the air. So possibly in a year's time or 2 years' time, Mark Hughes will be doing all these things too.
Down south, they can hardly contain the excitement.
The town is gay with restaurants, cafes, cinemas, and every form of modern entertainment. In the very heart of the town are the pleasure gardens. In springtime, trees are laden with cherry blossom, and the flower beds are a mass of tulips.
But it's the cherries of AFC Bournemouth who are uppermost in many minds now.
With Luther Blissett in the team, there's going to be a definite win.
You backed him?
Oh yeah, I've got a bet, £5 on it, 100 to 1.
Looking forward to it? No.